everybody, JC here, and welcome to a special Tuesday edition of the live stream. And this is a special action figure enthusiast channel member live stream, which means everybody can watch this live stream. So when we go over the news and stuff, you can listen in just like always, but only channel members, action figure enthusiast channel members can actually participate in the live chat. So I want to get a feel for how many actual channel members are here today. We are over 15 as far as total number of channel members last time I checked. In fact, it looks like Jeff Chu is our newest channel member. So thank you for joining. And there's a link in the video description if you want to become a channel member. It's just 99 cents. And one of the things I'm going to be doing today, special for the channel members, is I'm going to do a contest giveaway. Now I'm actually going to let the winner, there's a choice of prizes here. So your two choices will be $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store or an X-Men Marvel Legend Sentinel, made to pre-order Sentinel. Now, if you decide the Sentinel costs more than $100, but the downside if you choose the Sentinel is you won't get it until October of next year or whenever Hasbro decides to ship them out. You will end up having to provide me with your mailing address, and then basically I will make a purchase, putting in your mailing address so that next year, again, right now Hasbro saying early October of next year is when those Sentinels should ship out to people, and you will get one sent to your address. So that's how to go. If you go with the $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store, then you'll just need, to contact me and provide me with your email and name, which we will then pass on to Big Bad Toy Store, and they will set you up with a $100 store credit within a few days, and you can go wild. So that is how that's what I'm giving away today, a choice between those two things. Now I am looking to get just a feel for how many actual channel members are here. I see Ship My Pants 3000 is here, so good to see you, my friend. I suppose if he's the only channel member, I could just automatically declare him the winner, but I want to give some time to see who else pops in here. So Mr. Hanzo, good to see you, my friend. And again, thank you to everybody who has become channel members. In fact, this is down below at the bottom of the screen. You can see the names of everyone that has become a channel member up until at least 5 minutes before going live here. So Jason Electric is here. Good to see you. So I am seeing some people. So how this is going to work is as we get towards the end of the live stream, I am just going to randomly pick, based on your comments. I'm just going to go up and down, and wherever the cursor lands, that's who it's going to be. So it's going to be completely random. And it's not going, at most, 15, if all 15 channel members are here today and posting, then, your chances are 1 in 15, but I don't know if all 15 are going to show up. I was contemplating whether I just throw the names of all channel members into like a bowl and then just randomly draw that. And, down the road, I may do that as well. But I think today I'm just going to do, for those of you who are actually here watching the live stream, going to let you guys kind of fight for the contest. And this by far will not be the last contest I do. We've also launched a special section on the TNI forum. Some of you have already joined over there, where, additional ways of just staying in contact, getting your feedback. In fact, I posed a question over there. If there is a particular, I usually do these live streams at 3 in the afternoon, but that's what's really more convenient for me. And like the normal Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, well, Friday is usually a pre-recorded video, but the Monday and Wednesday general live streams will stay at 3. But as I get more channel members, if there is a particular time where the majority of channel members, say would be the best time to do a live stream so that I can tune in, then we may end up switching to that time. If everyone's like, oh, this time works for me and this time works for me, and there's not really a general consensus, then probably we'll just keep it at 3. But I am taking feedback on that over on the forums, the clubhouse, the Action Figure Enthusiast Clubhouse, as it's called, where only Action Figure Enthusiast channel members get access. And again, John is from Ireland, so good to see you, my friend. Glad you are here. And a channel member, by the way. So that is awesome. So I do have a few, before we get into the contest, there are a few news things, we can go over here. So let's just jump into the latest news happenings in the world of action figures. So real quick, I want to update. We talked about this Marvel Legend Captain America shield yesterday. And I believe the pre-order, I think I said the 20th is when this was going to go up for pre-order, but I'm not sure if that's the case. In fact, I'm going, no, it's Star Wars. Let's see. Those are Star Wars items. So I think that's where the 20th came from. We saw this pre-order listing for Prop Replica on Entertainment Earth's Drop Zone page, but it turns out that's just for Star Wars. So I guess we don't have a date yet for the shield. Probably soon. I don't know if this week, but just want to update you that I don't think this is going up on the 20th. I'm not sure how much demand there is for this since they've offered the shield before, but Dan Young basically said soon for this item. And technically this one is based on the Brave New World movie, upcoming Captain America movie. Let's keep it to Marvel. Going up for pre-order on the Mondo website. We talked about this yesterday as well, but that Spider-Man animated series, Symbiote Spider-Man figure, is now available on the Mondo website for $230. This is a 12-inch figure. You get all these various accessories based on, again, the Spider-Man animated series like they've been doing with X-Men, only now they're diving more into Spider-Man. Mezco is teasing their 112 collective Wolverine figure that is going to be going up for pre-order tomorrow. So if you want to get this one, we saw this. This one was put out briefly at New York Comic Con. It was in their booth. It was in their display case for a while, and then they took it out. So I don't know if they hadn't had licensing approval to show it. That's the Deadpool, but this was out. This figure was out briefly at New York Comic Con. So of course I was there and got pictures of it. Again, later in the weekend, they took it out of the case and it wasn't there anymore. So I don't know why that is. So final version may change some here, but again, this is actually our first look at the figure, which again is going to be going up for pre-order tomorrow. Should be available, pretty much everywhere that carries Mezco 112 collective figures. So if you're into the Deadpool Wolverine stuff, you might want to check that out. We are in the final week for the Sentinel. So again, possibly your choice if this is something you want. This is the Sentinel I'm talking about, the made to pre-order X-Men 97 Sentinel that Hasbro debuted at New York Comic Con. We are in the final week. This is a made to pre-order, so if you don't it's a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, just like the Dragon Man. If you don't buy it now, then you'll have to resort to the secondary market later on. They won't, according to Hasbro, they won't charge you until it actually ships next year, which again, right now they're saying October of next year. And of course, if you win, you won't get charged anything. I'll get charged, but you'll just get the Sentinel when they mail it out, if that's the prize that you decide to take today. So, and even if you have one on order, this is an army builder, so you might want to. But if you're not into Marvel Legends, you might want the Big Bad Toy Store credit that you can go and use pretty much right away. But again, for the rest of us, if you haven't, I went on it. I hadn't pre-ordered mine. I went on and pre-ordered it this morning. I just want one. Before I forget, next week's going to be pretty busy for me with Thanksgiving and everything. I'm going to be spending it with my dad. So I just went on and pre-ordered it, so I didn't forget about it. $174.99 is what it costs. And again, according to Hasbro, they won't charge you for it until next year when it actually ships out. McFarlane, some new listings have popped up for the Marvel. Nothing really big. Cyclops, Daredevil, and Thor. We got a glimpse at the Daredevil and the Cyclops at New York Comic Con. And the Thor one is the only one from the listings that have not yet been officially confirmed by McFarlane. But let's segue over to other listings. So again, these listings have not been confirmed by McFarlane at this time. These are from overseas websites and distributors. So almost always these end up being true, but again, we'll treat it as rumor until McFarlane officially confirms them. So for DC Multiverse, we've got the Tempest character from Titans Rebirth, Batman from the 1 Million storyline. I'm not familiar with that, so I don't know what varies with that Batman. These are all regular releases. Superman based on classic animation from the 1940s. And then Dark Flash from New Kid in Town storyline. So again, those are all general releases. Then we have Gold Label, which means store exclusives. Don't know what store, but they will be some type of store exclusives. A Green Arrow, Connor Hawk figure, Our Man from Justice Society of America, Icon from the Milestone Comics will be getting a 7-inch DC Multiverse treatment, and then Batman Dark Knight's Death Metal Jokerized figure, so another Jokerized figure, will be coming to the line. So again, those are all going to be store exclusives of some kind. Then we have physical digital offerings, so 7-inch figures with the extra digital offering to it. So with these, you're going to get Dr. Fate based on Silver Age, Two-Face also based on Silver Age, and Superman also based on Silver Age. So a new wave of, again, this is a combination of physical figure with the digital code thing included with the figure. Kingdom Come Superman. These are DC Page Puncher 7-inch figures. So Wave 8 is going to include Superman, a Kingdom Come version of Superman, and Supergirl Women of Tomorrow. So those should be coming. Now this is kind of interesting. We've gotten an 89, Michael Keaton Batman before, but we got the Flash movie version, and then we got the version in the box set, and then we got the version with the Batmobile. Now it looks like we are going to be getting a single release. So I don't know if it will differ any from the previous versions that we got, but if you still haven't gotten your hands on a McFarlane, Michael Keaton, original 89 Batman, then looks like that is going to be coming. Same thing with Batman Begins. I think they've done this version before, but I'm going to get it again in some shape or form, and then also a Gold Label version, probably. And I don't know what the differences will be. Also, the Bat Pod looks like is going to get reissued, this time with a Batman figure. We previously got the Bat Pod with Catwoman, but now it looks like we're going to get it with just a Batman figure. So multiple Kristen Bale Batman figures look like are in the works. Another Superman movie figure. This is from the new movie, the James Gunn movie. It will come with an accessory that's considered somewhat spoiler, so I'm not listing it till we at least see the trailer. But just know, we're going to get a bunch of stuff for the new Superman movie from McFarlane. DC Superpowers, the Bat Multicraft. So I'm not sure what exactly. I think it's some type of hybrid looking plane, but I'm not entirely sure. These vinyl figures that they first announced at New York Comic Con, Tots Mods, I think is what they call the line. So we saw some of those at New York, but the second wave is going to include a King Shark and a Superman. For movie maniacs, non-DC stuff, looks like a King Kong figure, so 6-inch King Kong from the 2005 movie, a Beetlejuice 2 4-pack. So these are, minimal articulated 6-inch figures. Music maniacs, we kind of talked about this yesterday with musicians, but Flavor Flav is going to be getting the Music Maniacs treatment from McFarlane. Those seem to have a little bit more in the way of articulation than the Movie Maniacs. So if you've been wanting a Flavor Flav, that looks like it's coming. And then again, I already talked about these 3 Marvel figures. So as I said, just listings, no specifics, nothing confirmed by McFarlane at this point, but like I say, almost always these listings end up being accurate. And we'll keep it to McFarlane. They've launched another one of their Club Drawing Board crowdfund campaign. So they announced this was coming at New York Comic Con. These are essentially wall plaques of sorts that mimic like the little corner of the comic books for DC. So, with the DC logo up in the top left corner of the comic book. That is what these things are supposed to mimic. And again, they essentially can hang them on your wall. There's one for Batman, there's one for Superman. There's autograph versions, similar to what they did with the DC multiverse stuff that didn't actually get crowdfunded, but they ended up going forward with them anyway. So we'll see how this one goes. We can just pop over there, see where we are. Or maybe, yeah. I think this is the site's just taking. All right, there we go. All right, so they're up to $35,392. The minimum goal is only $50,000, so I think they'll probably make this. They're already at 70% of their funding goal with 165 backers, 21 days to go. It ends on December 11th. The basic Batman corner box, the basic, if you just get one or the other, it's $100. If you get both of them together, it's $180. And then there's the autograph Batman, which is $129. Autograph Superman, $129. Or if you want them both autographed with a digital component as well, it's $259 or $260. So for like a display piece, these would probably be kind of cool. And measurement wise, including the plaque itself, is 16.5 inches long. So you can see it's not much wider than a light switch. The figure is about half the height. You get collector box and everything. Superman, I guess, is a little bit bigger because of his foot that hangs down. So the length of the Superman one is 17.75 inch. So, like I say, if this is something you're interested in, you've got 21 days to back it. And like I say, because the minimum funding goal looks like is much more reasonable than like they did with their superpower stuff the last time, my guess is this one will end up getting funded. Not much else on the McFarlane front. So Transformers. So we saw looks at these a while ago. It is a Hasbro Transformer crossover with Godzilla, which basically means it's a repainted Grimlock. And I gotta say, this is probably one of the laziest repaints I've seen. Because there's nothing about this that screams Godzilla to me. They've included some fire breath for Godzilla, but they could have at least like put some Godzilla fins on the back of Grimlock here to at least give him a little more of a Godzilla look to it. But like I said, to me, this is just kind of a repaint of Grimlock that they're calling Godzilla. So, there you go. So this thing, $64.99. It is available at places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. Uh, Godzilla slash Grimlock stands about 8.26 inches tall. I guess technically this is supposed to be some version of Megatron, not even though it's a repaint of Grimlock. So they're calling it Transformers Godzilla Synergy Synergy NX Leader Class uh, figure, which I don't know how Megatron. I don't know how this equates to Megatron, but there you go. So, like I said, that is a brand new pre-order that went up today. If you're into the Transformer crossover stuff, so here's something funny. So we're already starting to get previews for next year's free comic book day, but this one stood out to me. It's from Dynamite Entertainment. It is a ThunderCats Powerpuff Girls crossover. So that is kind of funny. The cover here is reminiscent of the original Marvel comic, Star Comics ThunderCats #1, I want to say, with the Powerpuff Girls thrown in there and all the Thundercats going like, "What the fuck?" So, but this will be one of the offerings on Free Comic Book Day if you're into that sort of thing. And speaking of Thundercats, we finally got the debut of these. Actually leaked out, I want to say, several weeks ago. So we knew these were pretty much coming, but retro style vintage Thundercat figures. So these are about 5 inches tall, 5.5 inches, kind of in style with Masters of the Universe, that type of thing. Super 7's done Conan figures like this already. Articulation is not fantastic, but again, retro, vintage style, whatever you want to call it, for Thundercats. The first three they're doing are Lion-O, Mumra, and Jackalman. $30 each, so they are cheaper than like an ultimate figure, thankfully. But again, they do have minimal articulation. They have accessories, and that's the packaging for them. So kind of a vintage style packaging, pretty generic, but there you go. And Jackalman comes with his axe. Lion-O comes with his claw shield and sword, and Mumra comes with his double-bladed weapon. So again, those are available for pre-order now at Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. And if you're looking for another Thundercats line to collect, there you go. If you're into Star Trek, got a new Spock figure. This is a 12-inch figure from EXO-6. So this is based on the original Star Trek series pilot, the first pilot, with Captain Pike, not Captain Kirk. And the cost of this one is $215. So Spock went through some minor adjustments between the original pilot and the second pilot regular series with Captain Kirk. His eyes and eyebrows and ears are a little bit different looking, different type of shirt and stuff. So if you're into Star Trek, that's something you might want to check out. Let's see. Anything else of particular newsworthiness to talk about? NECA is going to be doing some holiday drops on their NECA store. So I don't know what they're going to be, but you can mark your calendars, the 20th, 22nd, 25th, and 29th. These will be going up on NECA's store. So I don't think they gave a time, but I'm going to say probably 12 noon. That's usually when they put stuff up. So 12 noon Eastern time is likely when these will drop. And again, at least at this time, I don't have any specific details on what to expect. We talked about these yesterday, the cyberpunk stuff based on the anime series, as some of you let me know. So really see much need to talk about that. So we did get a few Star Wars bits today. So once again, Tuesday, new Star Wars reveals every Tuesday until like the middle of next month. So a new Black Series lightsaber, FX lightsaber, based on Mr. Skull from the Ahsoka series. So with that kind of orange blade, so that makes it kind of unique in its own right. It's got a unique hilt too, but so that is going up for pre-order tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and along with that will be a new vintage collection figure IG-12 with Grogu, and the little guys that helped make him, from which we first saw in the sequel movies. So those are, or that one is also going up for pre-order tomorrow, $24.99. So it's kind of like a deluxe figure, I guess, for vintage collection. So again, 2 new Star Wars pre-orders tomorrow. And yeah, so that pretty much is your latest news roundup. Just go down the list, see who's here, and see what you guys are saying. Beansatron, another new member. Thank you for joining, my friend, and thank you. Glad we got you set up. That was Jason Electric that we got set up on the forums. If you decide to go over to the message boards and join the Action Figure Enthusiast Clubhouse there, if you do have to register on the forums. There's no cost or anything like that. But if you have any problems, if you don't get your notification email or whatever, feel free to reach out to me on there. Same thing if once you register, just let me know that you have, and I'll send an invite for the clubhouse. And if you have any problems with that, we'll get you set up. I noticed one thing, I always use the forums on like a desktop. I'm old fashioned like that. But I realize a lot of people today use their phones to go pretty much anywhere on the internet. But one thing I started to notice like yesterday a little bit was that the forums, which, we use a company that created the forums, we use their software, but it's not the greatest when you're using it on your phone. So we were trying to make some slight adjustments to that. So hopefully that will get easier for you guys if you're using your phone to access the message boards. Leo, good to see you, my friend. John, again, good to see you. Elio says it's sold out. What's sold out? Hopefully not that Grimlock. It's still available on. Maybe you're not talking about Grimlock. Ratio says McFarlane's Kingdom Come line has me somewhat intrigued. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see those. Shit my pants. Oh god, recycled 80s style crap. Yeah. Well, but nostalgia is always big. I don't know. Like I said, they already did them with their Conan figures, so I guess they got a good enough response from Conan that they decided to expand with ThunderCats. I will tell you that I'm fine with the Ultimates, so it's not a line that I personally would be interested in. I mean, I even stopped collecting like Masters of the Universe Origins, which, are nicer. They've got better articulation and stuff, but they're still kind of in that retro style. So, but I think there's definitely a market for it. Road Pig John is in the house. Good to see you. John, I assume you're talking about if you were to win the Sentinel. Basically, if Hasbro Pulse ships to wherever you are, you can pick the Sentinel. But Hasbro will be the one that would be shipping it to you directly. So I don't, as far as international goes, I don't know if Hasbro Pulse is set up to go to you there in Ireland. So you would have to figure that out. But if Hasbro will ship it to you, then yes. but I'm not like having it sent to me and then shipping it out. So I basically would give Hasbro the winner's address, and we're talking about for the Sentinel. If you're just joining in, we're going to be doing a contest giveaway here, and the winner's going to have a choice from either $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store, or I will essentially purchase you Marvel Legends made to pre-order Sentinel that next year Hasbro Pulse would then ship out to you directly. So, but to answer your question, John, I don't know specifically if Hasbro Pulse ships to Ireland. So if they do, you probably know better than I do. You could select that, and Hasbro would send it to you. Ship my pay. Okay, since YouTube is kind of weird, I have to join with this profile, Kobo Cop here. Gotcha. Um, John, isn't Mattel going to be doing a vintage style ThunderCats with Masters of the Universe crossover teased at San Diego? Mattel is going to be doing, like they are doing with Turtles right now, um, a crossover line of some kind. So it's not going to be just straight up Thundercat figures. It will be in the origin style, but it's going to be like a mix and match. So if you're familiar with the Turtles of Grayskull line, it's going to be similar to that, only with Masters of the Universe and Thundercats. So it basically will be, characters from both brands that will like incorporate stuff from the other brand, if you get what I'm saying. So again, what Super 7 is doing is just straight up Thundercats in that retro style. What Mattel will be doing is Masters of the Universe origin style, which is similar, better articulation, but you can pull the parts off and mix and match and stuff. But it isn't going to be just straight up Thundercat figures. It's going to be some type of Masters of the Universe Thundercats mashup line. John says we have Hasbro Pulse EU, so all is good. Cool. Been toy hunting at Ross. They're getting me hooked on mini brands this year. Started by looking for accessories for 6-inch figures. Always with the discounts. Mike, good to see you. Long-time watcher of your news. Took me the last week to figure out how to join your channel. Much appreciated, Mike. Always welcome. I mean, to be honest, pretty much everybody that is now a channel member joined in the past week. So I started doing channel members some time ago, but then I made adjustments, and I really hadn't done much. So it was really only last week that I really kind of revamped the channel thing, lowered the price to, like, I originally had it for like $3, and I was like, screw that, let's get it down to 9. So like I had one channel member, which I much appreciated that person being a channel member, but when I changed, I basically deleted that tier and just created the 99-cent one. And so that got rid of any member I had at that point, which again was just one. And now we're kind of starting fresh. So you're basically right here with everybody else. So good to see you. Been toy hunting. Yeah. All right. So us 50-year-olds aren't too tech. Yeah, I hear you. I run I run websites for 25 years, and I wouldn't consider myself super tech savvy when it comes to modern stuff. I'm sticking with the Ultimate Thundercats. Road Pig says we already have very advanced on the line, and regards to waves, I'm like, yeah, I agree. I mean, if I was a bigger Thundercat fan, maybe I would collect a second line, but I'm happy with the Ultimates. I'm happy with pretty much the figures that I have. So even with the Ultimates, I've become much more, picky, and cherry picking. If it's a character that I really remember and liked, I'll get it. But there are those that I barely remember from the cartoon, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna pass on that one. I mainly just wanted the core team and the core bad guys, which Super 7 has now given us. And thanks to them, because how many different companies went through ThunderCats without actually delivering all the core team members and all the core villains? I mean, we had Bandai America, we had Mattel, so it took a while, but we finally got there. Just checking here. All right, let's see. I'm giving a little more time just in case any additional people join. Give them a little bit of a chance for the contest. Trying to think, what else can we talk about, because we've gone through the news. I don't know how many of you guys watch wrestling. We had Raw last night. It was okay. I guess pretty predictable. Making sure I've gone through everybody's comments. Shit my pants is apparently, what was that, pizza? Or no, just party. Another thing that happens when you get over 50 is your eyesight starts going bad. So sometimes I have to like squint to see the comments. When is my next collection turn? I'm not sure. I mean, not much has changed since my last one, but I don't know. I might do one soon. We're going into T&I's 25th anniversary next year, so I'm trying to line things up for that. So that's really kind of where my focus has been. We're looking, speaking of technology, we are looking at ways to improve the site from a viewership, making it easier to use on people's phones. Again, I've been running these websites for 25 years. So 25 years ago, people using the internet on their phone wasn't even a thing, but it has become, I can see when somebody comes, like, I can't see a specific person, but I can see, the number of people, the percentage of people that come to the site, how many come from like a desktop computer or via a phone or a tablet, a mobile device type thing. And by far, these days, most people use their phones to visit the site and stuff. So, we don't have an app, and I don't know if we'll ever have an app, because that's a lot of pain in the ass in its own right. But definitely there are things where we can improve, so when you're coming to the websites via a phone, it's easier to use. I mean, it's pretty easy now, I think, but we're looking, like, increase the speed of the sites, things like that. I wonder when Mattel might get back the rights to make the Macho Man figures. I didn't know they lost the rights to make Macho Man. I mean, unless WWE lost the rights, but I don't know, because that's actually not something I was aware of. There are a couple of WCW attires that I would like to have. Well, yeah, maybe WCW. Though WWE owns WCW these days, so I don't know. Sounds like you know a little more on that than I do. I've like, I mean, if I'm being absolutely honest, I've never really been that much into wrestling figures. There have been times in my life where I've really watched a lot of wrestling, mostly WWE. When I was a kid, my early 20s and 30s, I watched, during a lot of the Attitude Era, and then I took a long hiatus, and then recently started watching. But I've never really been that much into action figures for wrestling, which is kind of weird, but. And when I say weird, it's like, I mean, because I'm very much into action figures, obviously, and there have definitely been times in my life where I was very much into wrestling. So I don't know why I never really appealed to me to collect wrestling figures. But any figure you got on your wish list that you would be surprised to receive for the holidays, Christmas, etc.? Well, the thing about, like, I never like ask my wife to buy me action figures because she doesn't really know what's out there and how to find it and stuff. So I usually, any action figure I just usually buy myself. So I wouldn't expect anything as a surprise. I'm trying to think. I don't really think I have anything I'm eagerly anticipating that would come out by the end of the year. I mean, the Dragonfly, which you guys can see behind me. I don't know. I showed this off last week, but you can see back there, I got my spot for my Dragonfly. It's hanging from the ceiling over like where my His Tank and Stinger Jeep are. So most of my G.I. Joe figures are over here in a cabinet, but I got a number of my vehicles sitting over here on top of the video arcade machines. So I had always pretty much intended that I was going to hang the Dragonfly, so that's what I ended up doing. And it actually hangs very well. It's nice and balanced. If you just wrap the wire, use a metal wire from the ceiling and just wrap it around the propeller blade, and it's nice and balanced, so it stays pretty good. So that worked out really well. I have no idea where I'm going to put the Rattler next year. I may try and find a spot to hang it from, but I've got a year to worry about that. But as far as like things coming this year, the only thing I might get before the end of the year, I'm thinking, is maybe like the Secret Wars Marvel Legend wave. I just got I've got a box coming from Big Bad Toy Store, which really doesn't have. It's got a couple of. It's got my second retro Cobra Commander because I got one that I opened, but I wanted to have one to keep on the card back, so that will be coming from Big Bad Toy Store. I picked up a couple of Super 7 G.I. Joe Ultimate figures on sale that originally I wasn't going to get, but they were discounted on Big Bad Toy Store last week, so pretty cheap. So I ended up getting like Flint, Lady J, and the Black Costume Baroness. So I got those coming. It's not my favorite line. They're okay on the shelf, and again, they were discounted, which is why I ended up getting those. Big Bad Toy Store had a big Super 7 sale. I think it was last week. And I want to say, what else? Oh, and Alpine. G.I. Joe Classified Alpine will be in the Big Bad Toy Store box. So that should be arriving tomorrow. But the only other thing, like I say, is the Secret Wars Marvel Legend figures have started to, hit shelves and stuff. So I may end up picking those up before the end of the year. But that is probably it. Um, yeah, I can't really think of anything else that would be coming out by the end of the year, unless I mean, one of the things about the end of the year is just sales. I do expect we're going to get some more sales. And we talked about that. I think it was yesterday, like the Odin figure. How low is that price going to go on the Odin figure? $37 is the lowest I've seen it so far, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes a little bit lower before Christmas. So, kind of waiting to see what kind of deals we end up getting, Black Friday deals and stuff. Which reminds me, as we approach the holidays, an organization that I support every year, I make donations, either toys, monetary, or both. Toys for Tots, run by the Marine Corps. So if you haven't already, please think about, picking up an unwrapped new toy that you could donate to your local Toys for Tots drop off, or go to the Toys for Tots website and you can make a, monetary donation. And they'll apply the money to where it will be most useful. But please, as we go into the holidays, they, a great organization, Toys for Tots, helping children that are less fortunate that otherwise wouldn't be able to have toys under the tree come Christmas morning. Um, there have been years where I've volunteered and done toy pickups for them, and worked at their distribution centers here locally. Even helped like give out toys to the people that sign up and come. Um, and it is just such a great organization. So if you haven't already, and there are other organizations out there as well, and if there is one in particular that you generally donate to or whatever around the holidays, that's cool too. But for me, like I say, Toys for Tots is one of the best ones when it comes to things like getting toys into the hands of those less fortunate during the time of Christmas. So just wanted to put that out there for you guys. Um, Road Pig John, the Big Bad Toy Store Super 7 sale is still going. I ordered 5 Cobra Troopers from it. Nice. I did not get any dupe. I already had the Cobra Trooper, so I didn't order any more. I wasn't looking to army build. I have them in my office upstairs, the ones I have, and I got all the first wave because I got the first wave just because I wanted to see how they were, and I wasn't super impressed. But then I ended up getting I think it was the third wave with like Storm Shadow and Doc. So I got that wave too, and like I say, they're if you just sit them on the shelf, they don't have their articulation's nowhere near as good as like classified. The weapons can be brittle, the joints can be loose on them. So again, overall, I was not sold on that line. But again, when they get discounted, especially when they're being sold for like $55. But when they get discounted, I was like, screw it, I'm going to go pick up like the ones that I had missed previously. So yeah, I haven't looked to see. I know the sale's still going, but I haven't looked to see what they still have in stock and what have you. I actually already have 1 Cobra Trooper and 8 bats. Ooh, that's a lot of bats. The bat is probably one of the cooler figures from Wave One. Um, and probably one of the better made figures too. I don't remember any problems with the bat. Some of them I had real issue with their ankles get really loose, so they fall over very easily. Like my Cobra Commander has fallen off the shelf like many times just because he just falls over because his ankles are so loose. For as much criticism the Super 7 gets, I was impressed with their customer service. They replaced my Wily kit when the neck joint broke. That's nice. Um, and I'll be like, like I say, there are some quality issues I had with GI Joe, but nothing where like I felt like I needed to reach out to customer service. And their ThunderCats line, I mean, with Super 7 it's really weird because you hear lines like Power Rangers. I never bought any of their Power Ranger figures, but I heard a lot of complaints with Power Rangers. But like I say, the GI Joe, there were definitely some QC issues with loose joints and things. But like the Thundercats line, to me, I've not really had any problem with any of those figures. Um, so I mean, they really, I think they did a fantastic job with their Thundercats line. Was I happy to pay $55 for a Snarf figure? No, I thought that was a little ridiculous. But as an overall line, their Ultimate Thundercats line, I think they did a really good job with. But it really seems like it's just kind of hit or miss with Super 7 because some of their lines definitely seem like are better than others. Mike, Dragonfly is awesome. Got mine last week, but haven't had time to unbox it yet. Too much news to watch. Yeah, it is. I love it. It's a great display piece. I think Hasbro did a fantastic job with it. So yeah, I like I said, last week when I did the my unboxing, you know, my biggest complaint is probably the big white missile, but I feel like it's a little too big and a little too white. But other than that, I think they did a fantastic job with it. And getting the figures inside getting the figures in and out with the seatbelts in the cockpit can be a little challenging. But otherwise, I thought they did a great job. I had problems with Mumra when I changed his head, his neck. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I have not had. Now I haven't gotten like there are some that I didn't get. I didn't get any of like those repaints. I haven't gotten any of the repaints. I haven't gotten any of the light up figures. I haven't. I did get like the translucent uh, Tigra, which that one I want to say had some minor issues. The Jatara figure was probably one of their weakest ones. The articulation could have been a little better with Jatara. I think Tigra was probably the one that maybe had the most QC issues. And I think that was one that came like they changed factories like between wave 1 and 2 or something like that if I remember. So I feel like Tigra had some issues because of that. I actually had to pay on eBay $100 for Wily kit since I didn't buy it when it was available for pre-order. So I learned my lesson. It's core characters. So I did not get the Super 7 Wily kit and Wily Cat. I had the Mattel ones, but they did, and I thought those were good enough. So I did not get the Super 7 Wily kit and Wily Cat because again, I really, I don't like paying $55 for those smaller figures. So I had the Mattel ones, and I was happy with those. But I didn't have Snarf, so I did get the Snarf one. Even though I was not happy with the price, I was like, I got to have Snarf. So even though I thought it was overpriced, I went on and got it anyway. I'm going to customize my Dragonfly seatbelts with magnets. That would be cool. That if you make that work, that would definitely be a good because like just I mean they when you get them clasped in, they clasp well. It's just getting them unclasped that is very much a pain in the ass. John, my landlady says hi. Her name is Anne. We'll say hi back to her, John. Hopefully, you're all paid up on your rent. Don't want her seeing you buy action figures if you haven't paid your rent. But again, say hi to her for me. All right. Well, we're getting close to the hour, so I think the time has come. So again, for anyone who's just joined late, this live stream only channel members are able to participate in the chat. So I'm just going to randomly do the cursor up and down, and wherever it stops, whatever name it stops on, that is going to be the winner of the contest. You will need to email me after, or if you remember on the message boards, you can contact me through there or email me. I will put my email in the video description once this video ends. It's jay@enewsi.com. But you'll need to email me, letting me know which prize you're going to want. You can tell me here once I call your name out, but when you email me or contact me, let me know what you want. Now, again, the two choices are $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store, which, Big Bad Toy Store ships internationally, so pretty much I think everybody can use that. Or if you're a Marvel Legend fan and you want the new made to pre order Hasbro X-Men 97 Sentinel, you can choose that. That costs more. The downside is you have to live in a place that Hasbro Pulse will ship to because it'll be shipping directly to you from Hasbro. You'll have to provide me a mailing address and name when you reach out to me, and then I will give that information. I'll essentially go over to Hasbro Pulse, buy one, and put in your mailing address to have it sent to, which will be next year. So that's really the biggest drawback. If you go with the Sentinel route, you won't get it until next year, probably October timeframe of 2025. So those are your two choices. Again, X-Men 97 Sentinel, made to pre-order Sentinel, assuming you live in a place that has a Repulse will ship to, or $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store. And if you go with the Big Bad Toy Store credit, then you'll just have to provide me your name and an email address that you use with Big Bad Toy Store or want to use with Big Bad Toy Store. I will forward that information on to them, and they will set you up with the $100 store credit within a few days. Okay, so again, I'm just going to randomly, everybody that is in the comments are all channel members. So just going to randomly, I'm going to look away, make sure my cursor is in the right spot. Okay, so I'm going to look away so it'll be as random as I can make it. And where it stops, Road Pig John, you are the winner, my friend. So it was your comment about Wily Kit that the cursor landed on for $100. So congratulations, my friend. You can, if you're here, I see you there. So if you want to let us know which prize you want, let us know now, or if you need to think about it, that works as well. But I will put my email here in the comments or in the video description as soon as the video live stream ends, if you need it. I think you're on the forums as well, so you can PM me there. That's probably even easier as well. So this will not be the last time we do a contest. I promise you. We will be doing, especially as we go into next year, celebrate T&I's 25th anniversary. We will, this is one of the perks for channel members. Even though I will also, probably not quite as much, but I will continue to do some giveaways for non-channel members as well. And of course, there's always every month on both the Marvelous News and Toy News International message boards, if you do decide to register just as a regular member there, we do the $100 store credit giveaways almost every month. I've been doing that for almost 25 years. I mean, I was thinking about this earlier today. If I added up as much as I've given away in $100 store credits over the last 25 years, I probably would be like a millionaire. Or at the very least, I could retire and never have to work again. Because I literally started doing those forum contests like when I first started the site. So I won't say every single month I did a contest, but far more often than not, we did those contests. They actually started out as, I think I started out at doing like $50 credits when I started doing those contests. But again, those are additional ways as we go into the holidays. And again, we will be doing more stuff here, over there, as we go into the holidays, as we go into next year, celebrating T&I's 25th anniversary. So congrats to Road Pig John, and thank you everybody who tuned in here today. It is always appreciated. Thank you everybody who has become a channel member. So if you just joined while the stream was going, your name's probably not here, but again, thanks to all these people. We were, last time I checked, I think we were at 16 channel members, and that's just in less than a week. So that is fantastic. Always appreciated. And again, I am looking forward to hopefully a lot of cool things in the world of action figures, a lot of cool things that we're going to do here on YouTube and on the websites for you guys. So hopefully, maybe the rest of the world will go to complete crap, but all of us here in the world of action figures, hopefully 2025 will be a great year. So as always, guys, thank you. Stay safe. And until next time, I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching today's video. Now, if you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. For all the latest action figure news, be sure to head over to toynewseye.com, marvelousnews.com, jediinsider.com, and tformers.com. And remember, action figures are great,